Randy Orton returns for Roman Reigns. WWE hires a new writer for Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt to be Judgment Day's new leader alongside Rhea Ripley. Wrestling fans are fed up with WWE shows ending the same every week. Cody Rhodes sends Brock Lesnar a message after Raw. Jey Uso is unhappy with Solo Sikoa, and more. Let's jump right into it. WWE hires a new writer for Bray Wyatt. A WWE Hall of Famer has claimed that the company has brought in a new writer for Bray Wyatt. The Eater of Worlds executed a masterful return to the company last year, but his momentum has completely disappeared. WWE had fans on the edge of their seats, looking for QR codes to try and unravel the mystery. Wyatt returned at the end of Extreme Rules 2022 and received an incredible reaction from the wrestling world. Since then, Wyatt has only competed in one televised match, which took place at Royal Rumble. He defeated LA Knight in the first ever Mountain Dew pitch black match, but it was Knight who grew in popularity following the bout. Speaking on his own, You Didn't Know podcast, wrestling legend Road Dogg disclosed that the company has brought in a new writer for Bray Wyatt. We have a new writer, actually, for Bray Wyatt now. So we'll see how all of that unfolds down the road, said Road Dogg. Wrestling veteran Dutch Mantel recently discussed Bray Wyatt and wondered if Triple H could figure out what to do with him moving forward. Wyatt was involved in a rivalry with Bobby Lashley leading up to WrestleMania 39, but the match never took place due to Bray's undisclosed health concern. Lashley won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on SmackDown before Mania, but was not booked for a match at WWE's biggest show of the year. During a recent edition of Storytime with Dutch Mantel, the wrestling legend claimed Bray had his feelings hurt after the company fired his writer and added that his storyline has gone nowhere since his return. I don't think he's hurt. I think his feelings are hurt because he went out there and they fired his writer. That story with Bray is going nowhere. I don't even think Triple H can figure this out because it's not believable at all. Brock Lesnar knew that if he went out there and he beat Bray Wyatt, he didn't beat anybody, said Mantel. WWE writer Nick Manfredini worked closely with Wyatt and was reportedly let go earlier this year. It will be fascinating to see how the company presents Wyatt when he eventually returns to television. How would you book Bray Wyatt's return to WWE? Let us know in the comments section below. Bray Wyatt to be Judgment Day's new leader alongside Rhea Ripley. Thanks to this week's WWE draft, Rhea Ripley and the Judgment Day are both on Raw. However, there might be something more waiting in the wings for them that no one is ready for. Several superstars have gone undrafted following this week's events. While Brock Lesnar was referred to as a free agent, there was a star that no one mentioned. Bray Wyatt was not mentioned at all, and it seems that he's on hiatus from WWE for the time being. His eventual return to the company might help if he has a better gimmick. His supernatural characters have not had the best reception in recent years, and returning to his cult leader persona might be for the best. Given that there's a ready-made faction for him to take charge of, it also makes sense. Judgment Day seems to have organized everything they need to be a fierce force. However, they could become even more dominant with Bray Wyatt as their leader. The star joining them would also change the internal dynamics completely. It would be interesting to see how Dominic or the others react, but the apparent equation would be the one between Rhea Ripley and Bray Wyatt. The unique charisma of both stars might lead to quite an interesting storyline. With Wyatt as the leader, Judgment Day might soon have its collection of gold. Rhea Ripley by herself, quite an intimidating force on WWE Raw. Teamed with Bray Wyatt, there might not be any stopping her. The pairing might see Judgment Day become the most dominant faction in WWE, even beating out the Bloodline. Given how they are on separate brands now, Wyatt might even be the star to be crowned the new World Heavyweight Champion. Whether this happens at Night of Champions or later down the line remains to be seen. Fans will have to wait for Wyatt to return before this can happen. Do you see Bray Wyatt joining Judgment Day? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Wrestling fans are fed up with WWE shows ending the same every week. Wrestling fans are fed up with WWE following the upset ending of the Seth Rollins vs. Solo Sikoa match during the main event of tonight's Raw. The former WWE champion went head-to-head with Sikoa for the first time. Earlier on the show, Rollins cut short Paul Heyman's promo when he claimed how the new World Heavyweight Championship would look good around Roman Reigns' waist. While the Visionary addressed the WWE Universe about his goal towards a new world title, the Wise Man and the Tribal Chief discussed Rollins' situation over a call. Before Solo Sikoa came to Heyman's aid, Rollins tried to stomp his face across the mat and send a message to Roman Reigns. He tried to get under Solo Sikoa's skin during the match with Mind Game, and he mocked the Bloodline member as he played a game of cat and mouse. Rollins attempted a splash from the top rope, but Solo Sikoa countered it into a Samoan drop. The Visionary trash-talked Sikoa and called him a buh before being flung to the ring's center. In the match's final moments, tag team champions Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, along with Matt Riddle, entered the fray after the Usos ran out to attack Seth Rollins. A brawl ensued before the show went off the air. WWE fans did not like the concept of the Bloodline interfering in every match that turned out to be ugly for the Visionary. Some fans demanded that WWE should not end shows in such a controversial way because it has become the same thing over the weeks. A few other WWE fans found the main event boring and were tired of segments ending in brawl. Like Rollins, many of the company's top stars are on tour in Europe. On April 29, 2023, in Paris, he competed in a singles bout against The Miz and won, sending fans home delighted. The Visionary received a favorable response at the Accor Arena in Paris. After the match, wrestling fans were drawn to a video of fans singing Seth Rollins' theme song Somewhere Else. The fans shared a video of people singing the Visionary's theme music at a Paris subway stop. Currently, Seth freaking Rollins is set to face the Nigerian giant Omos at the WWE Backlash event. He has vouched to make MVP's client famous by putting him through Stomp. Do you think Seth Rollins can defeat Omos at Backlash? Sound off in the comments section below. Cody Rhodes sends Brock Lesnar a message after Raw. Brock Lesnar looked to send a message on the draft edition of WWE Raw. He interrupted Shawn Michaels and Adam Pearce to come out to the ring and call out Cody Rhodes. It ended up being Rhodes who sent him a message. But before he could do anything, Pearce ended up surrounding him with security guards. While Lesnar appeared only amused by this, he was not amused for long as Cody Rhodes' music played. As the star readied himself to face Rhodes, he was unprepared for the attack from behind. The American Nightmare attacked him, and the two started to brawl. Before security could separate them, Cody got the best out of the exchange, cutting Lesnar open as well. Thanks to the guards, they could not settle their differences ahead of Backlash. Now the star has sent him a message after the assault. He mocked Lesnar, holding the star's gear in his hat, saying, "Earn it, earn it, cowboy," Rhodes wrote. Rhodes clearly has Lesnar's number at the moment, but it remains to be seen if he can come out of WWE Backlash as the winner. Brock Lesnar does not take being attacked well and might come at him with a whole new fury. Do you think Cody Rhodes can beat Brock Lesnar? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Roman Reigns' presentation changed. Undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns has been untouchable in many different senses. The Tribal Chief's title reign is approaching 1,000 days and his presentation is pretty much perfect. However, one key aspect might be lost following the 2023 draft. Over the past year on SmackDown, fans have grown to notice and appreciate how ring announcer Samantha Irvin introduces Reigns. Her delivery fits the might and ferocity of the head of the table. Samantha's call has become iconic and can be considered one of the greatest ever introductions by a WWE ring announcer. She is engaged to Ricochet, who was drafted to Raw alongside Braun Strowman. Since the company ensures that couples remain on the same brand, one can safely say that Samantha Irvin will likely move to the red brand too. As a result, she would no longer introduce Roman Reigns anymore. Taking her place as SmackDown's ring announcer could be Mike Rowe, who does a great job himself. All is not lost, though, for fans of Samantha Irvin if she moves to Raw. Her introduction for Gunther is also quite incredible, and it can continue in this scenario as Imperium got drafted to the red brand too. Even if Samantha Irvin isn't around to add gravitas to the Tribal Chief's television appearances, Roman Reigns has an interesting few months ahead of him. He is WWE's top champion, even after a new world title has been introduced for Raw. The Big U's can feud with some old rivals he last faced before turning heel. Reigns has matches against AJ Styles and Bobby Lashley to look forward to, with the Almighty being the last person to pin him clean. However, all roads lead to Cody. Despite being drafted to Raw, the American Nightmare remains the optimal option to dethrone the Tribal Chief. Whether it happens at SummerSlam or WrestleMania 40, Cody Rhodes needs to win the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. When do you think Roman Reigns should finally be dethroned? Let us know in the comments below. Wrestling veteran Vince Russo was recently asked about WWE superstar Alexa Bliss outselling Roman Reigns merch between 2021 and 2022. Bliss has been out of action since the 2023 Royal Rumble. She unsuccessfully challenged Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship at the event. Since then, she has taken to social media to keep her fans updated about her current status and revealed that she had a facial procedure, which has kept her out of action. Bliss was one of the most active female superstars in the last 2 years. She was fresh off a partnership with the Fiend Bray Wyatt, and the character change bolstered her overall standing in the company. Her popularity helped the company generate a lot of revenue. She had the best merch sales among active stars in 2022. Her numbers were even better than that of undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns. Wrestling veteran Vince Russo was recently asked about her performance on the latest edition of Legion of Raw. The veteran clarified that Alexa Bliss is popular outside the wrestling ring, which could have helped her numbers in 2022. Well, she's got that comic book crossover to a little bit of that cosplay. You know, I'm sure that plays a little bit into it. I don't think it's just the wrestling crowd, said Russo. Bliss was only behind Stone Cold Steve Austin, 1, and John Cena, 2, in the best merchandise movers for 2021 to 2022, according to a report from US Bookies. Meanwhile, Roman Reigns was in the 4th spot, while The Rock took the 5th spot. Roman Reigns has been dominating the promotion for nearly 3 years. He defeated Brock Lesnar to unify the Universal and WWE Championship championships and made a statement at WrestleMania 38. While no one has been able to defeat Reigns for the Universal title for nearly 1,000 days, he has held the Unified Championship for over a year. Cody Rhodes came close to winning the title at WrestleMania 39 but couldn't put the tribal chief away. It's no secret that Roman Reigns is one of the biggest names in the company today. He has proven himself on different levels to become the best at what he does. Beating his merchandise sales in 2021 to 2022 is a big achievement for the former Raw Women's Champion. Do you want to see Alexa Bliss return to the ring soon? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Jey Uso unhappy with Solo Sikoa. Not all is good with Jey Uso and the Bloodline. Paul Heyman has thrown subtle hints all around about how Roman Reigns is completely unhappy with the Usos and Sikoa has been the one that he has relied on. After this week's episode of Raw, Jey was unhappy with one of his Bloodline brothers, Solo Sikoa. On the latest episode of Raw, Jimmy Uso was booked against Matt Riddle and Jey Uso was at ringside. Jey was kicked out after Kevin Owens used an Eddie Guerrero-esque tactic to make sure the referee ejected Jey from ringside. As a result, Riddle convincingly picked up a win against Jimmy Uso. Jey went backstage and asked why Solo wasn't out there helping as he usually did, teasing dissent with him. Paul Heyman explained that Solo Sikoa's main event match against Seth Rollins was the reason he didn't show up, and he even took him away while Jey was left alone in the room. Dissent continues to be teased within the Bloodline. One of the marquee matches for Backlash 2023 will see the Usos and Sikoa face Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Matt Riddle. Who will walk out with a win? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Randy Orton returns for Roman Reigns. It's the return we were all waiting for, that of Roman Reigns' original SummerSlam 2022 opponent Randy Orton. The Viper has been out of action since May 2022, where the Usos defeated RK Bro to unify the tag team titles. After nearly a year, WWE may finally be preparing for his return. Orton's injury in 2022 was worse than expected, as it instantly shut down RKO's momentum and halted what was considered an otherwise excellent run. Randy Orton was rumored to be Roman Reigns' originally scheduled opponent for SummerSlam 2022, but the injury caused a change in plans and WWE went with the final Reigns versus Brock Lesnar match instead. On Raw, Matt Riddle has been aligning with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn against the Bloodline, with a few teases being made in between referencing his RK Bro days. Each passing week has seen Riddle's importance increase, and the fact that he is in yet another six-man tag team match at Backlash against the Bloodline is a massive indication that WWE could be setting up Orton's return. The Bloodline has been a bit on the back foot lately, with Jimmy Uso losing to Riddle on Raw and Solo Sikoa losing to Seth Rollins after a DQ. The Bloodline has obvious cracks, but it seems to be setting up a potential win against the undisputed tag team champions and Matt Riddle at Backlash. If that does happen, then Randy Orton could return at Backlash 2023. It would be a welcome return to the WWE roster and a breath of fresh air. Are you excited for the Viper's inevitable return to TV? Should he be a future opponent of Roman Reigns? Let us know in the comments section below.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for